Welcome back. We've entered Shedwars21. We've entered early because we have two new teams. One is Southern Cross, and that's captained by Olmsted Australia. I don't remember what the other one was. And their growing season, of course, it starts now. Actually, 1st of, yes, Mr. Crow. Early here in October or 1st of November. However, even though we have snow on the ground and everything is freezing up here, not everything is completely gone. There are some things that you can grow during your growing season and have in your garden to harvest long into the fall. Take kale, for instance. These are perfectly good leaves. We've had -7 now, but they'll be okay. And if you're like me and you don't like the idea of blanching your kale and freezing it, then you grow enough of this so that when the cold weather comes, this is not growing, it's just sitting there dormant. There would be a certain temperature, but like I said, -5, -6 Celsius is not going to hurt this. It'll sit there dormant, waiting for you to come and pick it, or for the snow to cover it. Broccoli being another one. And these leaves are edible, so if you like broccoli leaves, they're good. And of course the broccoli is perfectly good, even though we've had some fairly cold weather now. Cabbage is a little more timid than the other two. It's starting to get soft leaves now, but it will withstand quite a bit of your first frost days. This is probably your hardiest crop that you can grow and just leave in the garden to pick in during the cold season. This is Brussels sprouts. Now what I'm finding is that most people are removing these lower leaves to allow the sprouts to get larger. But if you leave those leaves on, they will hang down, as you see they're doing here, and protect the sprouts underneath from getting a really hard freeze. And you can go out, dig this out of the snow Christmas time in January and harvest your sprouts. This is the parsley that grew up to seed this year. I can take some seed. See if I can get it to focus. Theory, or my understanding is, next year these seeds that have fallen on the ground, they will sprout new plants, and I'll just take up the plants that are outside of where I want them to grow. There's a lot of herbs that they will stay pretty much evergreen, and the snow will come and cover these. This is the savory, winter savory, and when the snow melts again, it'll be sitting there as green as ever. Thyme is the same way. Here's my rosemary that I planted. Now it was only about this high when I planted it. It grew up and it's got 2 branches up on top here now. I'm going to cover this for the winter. I have a bucket that I'm going to put down over it and then put a weight on top of the bucket. Oregano, if my memory serves me correctly, and you can see that it's got some leaves that are all brown and curled now, that will, once we get some colder temperatures, completely die back. Here's the French thyme, and as I said, that'll sit there like that underneath the snow all winter. I could, if I wanted to, come out and dig the snow off it and actually harvest some during the winter. Got the name forgot of this one. But anyway, it grew very well this year. It should die back during the winter and come again in the spring. But that I don't know. This is the one a couple years ago I had a couple of the same kind of plant and they died in that hot winter when we had like minus 30 Celsius. Here's the other thyme, and once again, when the snow melts, the first thing you'll see is the snow melted around here, and there'll be snow all out around, and you'll see this green bush sticking up out of it. St. John's wort has held on to its leaves up to now. The flower, this is the brown stuff, is the flower heads that was on there. They're all dead. And then this stuff is the chamomile. Come spring, I'll just cut it right back to the ground. I won't pull up these plants because you disturb the soil too much. Just cut them off at ground level in the spring, and I'll throw these in the compost, and then all the seeds that had fallen, they will come up again. It's a reseeding annual. Of course, your echinacea, that is a clumping perennial, and when you want to divide it, you just dig up the plant, divide the root mass, and then plant 2 separate root masses. You could, of course, just see if I can get it to focus. When I get my new camcorder, it'll be better, but this is what I got now. Take these seeds and grow them out from seed. This is lovage, and that dies right back to the ground every year, and it will grow up as a huge herbaceous plant come next spring. You remember this bed? This is the one where the lemon balm grew up like crazy and drowned out my butternut squash plants that I had here. They are still fairly good. I could take this in and make a pot of tea out of it even now. They are starting to die back though. They will completely die right back to the ground. Well, they had forecast -7 for tonight. I don't know if they'll survive that. Nice fresh turnip that I missed. Actually, it was probably just a little tiny thing back when I done my last harvest for Shedwars. The Greek oregano that was here, this is out along beside the ditch that comes out from the well. It grew like crazy. I mean, this was a little tiny plant that I put here in the early spring, or sometime in June or something. And it has grown up like this, And it's still in the condition because some of these, like these tops here, I'm going to be making some soup. I'm going to come out and cut these off and use them in my soup here later today. And then there's the other one on the other side. My sea berry, I'll dig up the picture. I got a picture where back in the early spring it was about twice as tall as the sign in there I got to marker it with. It just needed the light and the other vegetation I was letting grow up around it. When I cleared the vegetation away, it got the light and it took right off. Now, they are either male or female. There's not both on the one side. I've got to check it out. Those are the buds right here. And if I remember correctly, they'll let me know what it is. So later on I will find out, and I will put it underneath when I do the editing, whether this is male or female. And if the nursery has sea berry in the spring, or maybe I can order one, I'll get one of the other side. So if that's male, I get female. If it's female, I'll get a male, and maybe get some berries next year. The Firecracker Goji that wasn't doing very well down by the maple tree, it held onto its leaves right up until the cold weather, and even now it's not focusing, but there's little blurry green bits there, right there. So there's a couple green leaves right there. And this is, of course, November the 17th. We've had -5 Celsius. So it is doing much better there. November the 17th, and I've harvested some herbs and some other things that I'm going to have for dinner. Let's put it in here and weigh it, shall we? Some broccoli, some kale, that little turnip, what, 12 or 14 Brussels sprouts, can't remember what I picked there. And then I got these bunch of herbs that I'm going to put in with the chicken that I've got to put on the boil here now. Come to 274 grams, or 9 ounces, 9.7 ounces. My YouTube camera fell in the bay, and cameras don't like water. And being where I am, I have to order online. It's going to be another week and a half before I can order online. Right now I'm recording with my phone, and I will try to get a couple of videos this way. This is just an amalgamation of several video clips from my phone. Otherwise, it could be up to a month before I can get another really quality video out. I hope you enjoyed this one. Hit the thumbs up, and don't forget, leave me a comment. I'll see you in the next one.